Hi, I'm your host, Marcia Florence. Today's show is the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, the Michigan chapter. Hurry back and join us. Welcome to the show. I'm Marcia Florence, your host for Just Ask. Today's show is the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, the Michigan chapter. And as our guest, we have Vice President of Program, Rose Taylor, and additional guest, Lorraine Hager of the Hugo Program. She is the ambassador of the Hugo Program. Thank you, ladies, for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Good. Now, Rose, I want to start with you because we know a little bit about the MS program. Should we call it MS? Can we call it that, or should we just say the Multiple Sclerosis?
You can say MS. That's fine.
Okay. A lot of people are familiar with the term MS.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we wanted to get some history, and we haven't had you guys on in such a long time. But the reason we asked for you to come back is because we know that you have joined hands with another upcoming organization, the Hager. Is it Hager or is it Hugo?
Hugo.
I'm sorry, Hugo program. Okay. And Lorraine is the ambassador of it. So we're really glad to have you both here. And I want to start off with Rose, your position there, and some history on the MS Society.
Okay, I'm Rose, and my title is Vice President of Programs, which means that I oversee the programs and services throughout the state of Michigan because we cover all 83 counties. And we provide a variety of services for people with MS and their families. And we've been in existence in this state since 1948. Okay. There are over 16,000 members at our chapter.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, how does one actually get MS, or do they have anything that they let a person know how MS comes about?
We don't know what the cause of MS is. Mm-hmm. There is no known cause and no cure at this particular point. Anybody can get MS. It's more prevalent in Caucasian females. There's twice as many women with MS and twice as many Caucasians with MS as there are African Americans and other.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Are there any particular symptoms or signs for the onset?
Yes, it varies from one person to the next because the symptoms tend to vary as well. But some very common symptoms are things like double vision, blurred vision. Often there is spasticity and some tremors. Some people have some gait issues, bladder issues, and things like that.
And a lot of those symptoms can relate to various different types of conditions. But do they test in particular, or is that something a person should ask to be tested for?
People tend to end up going to the doctors when they experience the symptoms after a certain length of time. Often we will ignore a symptom that, many people with MS will tell you that even though they were diagnosed in like 1990, they could remember having similar symptoms back in 1982 because they kind of came and went and you just thought, okay, they lasted for a day. And, you forget about it because sometimes you think it's after exercise or something. But there is no one test for MS. Okay. So there's a variety of things that you do, but the most common test for MS is the MRI. But also they can do spinal taps and things like that. Okay.
Now, is MS fatal?
No, it really is not. Research indicates that it certainly isn't, but most people with MS can expect a normal life expectancy. However, in an extreme case, one could, a person could indeed die early, but those are extreme circumstances.
Okay. What about hereditary? I mean, that's far-fetched, but some people want to know, is it contagious or is it hereditary?
Right.
Family gene or anything like that?
Right. It's absolutely not contagious. Okay. There is no real evidence that it can be directly inherited. However, there are some families that have more than one incidence of MS in it. But for instance, if it was directly inherited, then if a person had twins who share the same genes, then both twins would have MS. And there are many instances where a twin will have MS and the other one doesn't. Okay. So it's not directly inherited.
Does it have an age time frame that it may be coming into the onset?
most people with MS are diagnosed between the ages of 20 and 50.
Okay.
But you can live, like I said, a normal lifespan, but most people are diagnosed between 20 and 50.
Okay.
Right. But there are children. It's becoming, since MS, it's becoming easier to diagnose. More and more children are diagnosed. In fact, there are 5 pediatric MS centers across the country. But mostly, again, between the ages of 20 and 50 are the most common ages of onset.
Because I would think with children, a parent has to really be clued in to recognize that a child has something going on and then find out it's MS. So if it's a child, I mean, children are so active. It's almost difficult to pinpoint, you know, a situation like that at an early age. So mainly, yeah, at 20 or whatever, the person can speak for themselves and pretty much represent the difference between the conditions that they have and what they're feeling.
But parents know when something's going on with their child, just like they know when they have a cold or anything else going when they're sick. Unfortunately, it's more difficult for them to get a diagnosis because many neurologists aren't looking for MS in children because it is so rare. That's why if a neurologist suspects it, they can send them to one of the MS pediatric centers in the country. In fact, that's paid for by the National MS Society. They actually take care of transporting people to the different sites.
Okay, okay. Well, I tell you what, ladies, we're going to go to a commercial break on that and come back with some more information. And Lorraine, it'll be your turn.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
When I'm under, I don't breathe. I'm weightless. My heart races. I'm floating away. And when it's over, all I think about is doing it again.
Michael Swan is under the influence of his volunteer swim coach. By spending time coaching, he helps Michael stay off the street and off drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
And welcome back to the show. For those of you who are just now joining us, we have the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, the Michigan chapter, and we have Rose Taylor, the Vice President of Programs, and Lorraine Eager. Had to make a correction on her name. She is the Huga Center Ambassador. Thank you, ladies. Okay. Now, Lorraine, we left off with you, so I want to start up with knowing a little bit about yourself and how did you become the Huga Center Ambassador?
Well, I have MS, and I was diagnosed with it in 1988. I was lucky enough to go to the program, the Huga program, in 1992. And I had gone while I was in a wheelchair, and the doctors had told me I probably would be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life or need some sort of assistance to walk. And I believed them. Who wouldn't? So after I went to the center in Colorado, like I said, I was lucky enough to go there. And about a year after I came out of the center, I was able to walk again. Wow. So it's just the positive experience that I got from that is how I became the ambassador, one of the ambassadors.
Okay, well, that's a wonderful concept. Okay, now what is the Huga Center? What does the program consist of?
Well, it's going to be coming here in September, and it's a 5-day program. And 25 people with MS and their partners or family members get to go with them. So there's 50 people that go, and there's about 45 professional people that end up coming to help out. So there's 5 groups of 5, and it makes a very small, quaint little group so you can get to know each other. And then you have 1 to 2 professionals that are with you, and it's almost a one-on-one basis. So you learn everything you possibly could ever want to learn about MS. They have neurologists, urologists, they have people for depression. You learn a lot about education, nutrition, and the best part about it was the networking and the support that they give.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah. That is really nice. Now, how are the persons selected? Well,
all you have to do is call the 1-800 number, and you can just register there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I take it that you have a 1-800 number.
I do. It's 1-800-367-3101.
Okay, and that's for the Huga Center.
Yes, it is.
Now, they're out of Colorado, but they are setting up a home base here in Detroit? Or
they have satellites.
Satellites, okay.
Yeah, where Michigan is, I think it's 5 times or 6 times that they've been here in the state of Michigan.
Okay, okay, so they come a couple of times a year or something like that?
No, every couple of years. They've been coming since 1991, and I actually believe this is like closer to I think it's been more than 6, closer to 10 actually.
Oh, okay.
So they haven't made it every year since 1991.
Okay.
But they've been out here more than any other state in the country because we have a large MS population
Where would
here.
they be housed at? Well, is a particular city?
Dearborn.
Yep.
Dearborn? Okay.
Yeah.
And so if someone's interested in registering to find out if they can be a part of the 5-day, is it a 5-day, is it a treatment program or?
A can-do program.
Can do. Okay,
Yep, they
that's a
focus
nice
on.
title.
Yep.
Okay.
We
okay.
focus on things that we can do, not on what we can't do.
Okay, okay. So if anyone's interested in being involved in the Can Do program, that's
Yep.
the title of it?
That is
The Can Do program, they should call what number?
1-800-367-3101.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, that's pretty good there. All right, so now the MS Society and the Hugo program have joined hands together. Is that what this is about?
We are helping to promote the Jimmy Hugo program because the Hugo Center has been in existence for a number of years. And when there's something out there that's that good to people with MS, we don't, it's important to us to promote it so that our members can take advantage of it. So we've been spreading the word through our website and promoting it wherever we can because we know it to be an exceptional program.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. And Lorraine, your testimony of how well it works, I see. And so so that's how you became the ambassador, more or less, that your involvement with them and the outcome that you are no longer a wheelchair user.
Yeah, at this particular time, as Rose said, we're not sure when symptoms flare up, but occasionally they do. And I've been in and out of a wheelchair 3 different times, a couple of years at a time, and just a lot of exercise, determination, and the things that I learned at the Can Do program helped me out. So
the Can Do program, you said the founder is Jimmy
Hugo.
Jimmy Hugo. Okay. Okay. Unique name. Okay. And so now, did Mr. Hugo develop and design this program himself because he's an MS person, or is he an MS person?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He was a bronze medal in 1964 winner in the giant slalom for the Olympics.
Wow.
And I think that was 1964 and 1970 he came down with the diagnosis of MS.
Okay.
And the doctors told him to stay at home and don't lead a stressful life. And if anybody out there can figure out how to lead a non-stressful life, I think we would all be advantage of it.
Okay.
But so he founded the program, and or the center itself, I should say, and has helped out because he realizes back then that exercise was the most important thing for people with MS.
Now, see, a lot of people equate exercising with trying to maintain a certain weight level and this and that, but actually a lot of our health conditions have a situation where we should exercise to keep us at a certain level, not just the weight, but the muscles, the mass, the bones and everything, keep them going. So, and then we're not against physicians when they say, take care of yourself, relax, but they're not home with you. So you're home, you have small children or teenagers or whatever have you, you had a job, what do you do? So does the Can Do program or the Hugo Center, does they give you ideas on how to keep your life pretty much molded the way you had it before, but you may have to eliminate something or cut down?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They give you an exercise program, and they focus on the things that you enjoy doing and not on the things that you don't enjoy, things that you're capable of doing. So if you like to swim, they'll give you a program of swimming exercises, things like that. Okay. If you don't have access to a pool and you can't swim, they're not going to give you a program that will focus on that.
What was one of yours?
I did a lot of weightlifting and learning when I was able to walk on the treadmill. They also have the stationary bikes where you can sit in your wheelchair and put your feet on pedals and bike, and I was able to start doing that. And when my legs were too tired, not able to do that, I would put that on my hands.
Okay.
So it gives you the aerobic exercise that we all need, and also the weightlifting, and just the mindset.
Well, I must admit you look well. You
Thank you.
Certainly look well. And so you know that your life definitely changed after this program.
Yes, it did.
What was it like before? Was it more hectic? Did you feel depressed and everything? Did you have all the symptoms of knowing that, okay, this is it? Did you have it like that, or were you thinking like that?
I had a lot of symptoms from the MS.
Okay.
Like Rose had said, the blurry vision, the double vision, but I had a lot of spasms and tremors. And I thought, a diagnosis of MS, when I first got diagnosed, I thought I was going to die. And my neurologist at that point in 1988 says, well, you're not going to die, but it is going to screw up your life. And I let it for a little while until I was able to go to the center, and they were able to helped me understand that when I can take control of my life and not let MS take control of it, that's the biggest part. And that's what I learned.
Okay. Well, you know, I can understand why you're the ambassador.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And I'm sure the Huger Center appreciates having you be one of many of the ambassadors that they have, because that's a good way to think, you know. And so do you travel around the city or the state or whatever and speak in their behalf?
I travel through the state.
Okay.
I'm co-director of the Boyne Snow Express to help raise money.
Okay. And what is the Boyne Snow Express?
The Snow Express consists of teams of 3, one being a female. You can snowboard, you can ski, however you can come down on a hill would be great. And we try to raise money, $1,000 per team, and the money goes for scholarships to help people with MS go to the programs, whether it be in Colorado or any place else that they happen to have the Can Do program. So the money that we raised in January for the Boyne Express, or the Snow Express, 25% of the money stays here in Michigan to help people with MS go to the programs.
Okay.
So
someone can call the MS Society and find out about the Huger program and get referred to it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Primarily, we're going to refer them directly to the Jimmy Huger program, to the center.
That's
Absolutely.
a good tie-in. That is a wonderful tie-in.
it's very wonderful,
Okay.
yeah.
And then there's monies being raised to keep it going so that if they can get there. Okay, and it doesn't have to be in, you say Colorado?
There's the main center is in Colorado, but they have satellites all around.
Okay.
They have them down south, they have them out west, Midwest, and even out east now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will be impressed to get this information, and so we definitely want to get the word out about the MS Society and the wonderful things it's doing, and the Huger program in itself, this coming forth, joining hands with such an agency as the MS. So ladies, let's take a break, and we'll be right back with some more good information about the MS Society and the Huger Foundation. We'll be right back.
My nerves stand on end, my palms sweat, and everything's a blur. The rush is so intense. All I want to do is get even higher.
Andrea Moretti is under the influence of her local teen center volunteer. Each month, she helps Andrea stay on top of the world and off drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
And welcome back to the last half of our show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might not know it, but if you're not the person yourself with the MS, I'm sure that you know someone. So you may want to take down these numbers and websites and get in contact with the MS Society, the Michigan chapter, as well as the Huger Center program. Now, I said Huger Foundation. It's not a foundation. It's the Huger Center program. And Lorraine is nice enough to be, and not nice enough, she is the ambassador for our Michigan chapter here, which is a good thing. And you want to get the phone number and website of those two services individually, but contact them and find out more about them. See if you want to pass this information on to someone you know, whether it's a dear friend, relative, or whatever. Be supportive in getting out the word about the MS Society, the Michigan chapter, and the Huger Center. Okay? All right. So now, ladies, I really want to thank you for both coming, because it's very important that we get more knowledgeable about services in the state of Michigan and beyond. And by the Huger Center being located in Colorado, but being nice enough to come to Michigan every so often and provide services is a wonderful thing.
Right.
Okay, so we're really encouraged by that. But you know what? I didn't ask you, Rose, how is the MS Society funded? I mean, where does money come from?
Well, we do all kinds of fundraising events, like we have an MS Walk pretty much in the spring from May through June. And we have several sites across the whole state. And we also have an MS Bike Tour. We have one from people ride 150 miles. They ride from Grand Rapids to Lansing and back, and a couple of weekends ago they drove from Davisburg to Lansing and back. We also have a number of other events, like a Dinner with Da Vinci, black tie event, gala event coming up in September. And, we're doing an event with Mike Moras at Comerica Park for Tigers. So we do it. People make donations. We do special events, and people can join the MS Society.
How can someone get involved in your efforts?
They can call 1-800-FIGHT-MS, or they can call 1-800-243-5767 and just contact us and let us know if they want to participate in a fundraising event or if they want to volunteer. There's all kinds of activities for people to, volunteer opportunities through the chapter. For instance, people can come and help us with the phones, with phone calls. They can assist us with our medical equipment program, with planning programs and activities, because we base what we do on the express needs of the MS community. So a lot of people with MS and their family members actually participate in committees and actually participate in the programs.
Okay, now what's those numbers again?
800 Fight MS. That's a nationwide number.
Okay.
But people can also dial 800-243-5767.
Okay, and what are you guys' website?
Our website is www.nationalmssociety.org.
Okay, all right, that's some good information. Now let me ask you about these brochures here, because we have quite a few on here. So if someone wants to call you or call the agency itself and it says Count on Us, what would they find out about the Count on Us brochure?
Well, they'd find out all about our programs and services, because we offer a huge variety of programs and services throughout the year to the 16,000 members plus their family members. So information and referral is the most important service that we provide. So we provide all kinds of literature and information about resources. Doctors, people don't know what doctor to go to.
Okay.
People don't know, what resources are available, how they can pay for the drugs, the disease-modifying drugs, which many people with MS are on. Most of them are encouraged to be on one of those drugs that will actually, modify their condition, make a difference.
Okay, well, somebody wants to get that brochure, Count on Us. What about the MS Achievement Center?
The MS Achievement Center, we're very pleased that we just celebrated our second anniversary of opening the MS Achievement Center at the chapter headquarters in Southfield. And anyone can contact us if they have MS and they want to come an afternoon a week. They do yoga, Tai Chi. They have all kinds of guest speakers, and we provide financial assistance for participants. So it costs about $15 per session, but we even offer that on a sliding scale fee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very informative. Okay, and the Just the Facts 2005 and 6?
Just the Facts is it's just a sampling of the brochures, the many pieces of literature that we provide to the community, to the medical professionals, to people with MS and family members and general public. All kinds of information about what is MS, who gets it, what's going on in research, whether or not, you asked several questions about whether or not it's contagious, hereditary.
Right.
The basic facts you can find in Just the Facts, and that's just a sampling. Okay. We also have a lending library that people can get books and videos free of charge on loan through the MS Society. Okay,
and this one caught my attention because we don't get much information about research directory in the multiple sclerosis. So, research directory. Anybody got a question about research? What's this book say?
It's Research Directions in Multiple Sclerosis.
Okay.
And what it is a summary of the kinds of research that the MS Society is funding. Because you understand, when people raise money for the MS Society, they're not just funding the services for people with MS in Michigan. 60% of that money goes to people with MS in Michigan, but 40% goes toward finding the cure for MS and finding, the latest treatments for MS. So research directions is key, because there's like over 300 research projects funded by the National MS Society.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a break here. Okay. Because Rose, you're on it. So, so Lorraine, this is your part right here, the Hugo Center.
Yes.
Okay, this is really, really nice. And ladies and gentlemen, something tells me that is this Jimmy himself?
Yes, it is.
Okay, see, I knew this picture back here was for a reason. Okay, nice picture. So I had to go to the back for a second because I want to get a shot of Jimmy Hugo.
Yes, it is.
Okay. But overall, the front fold says the Hugo Center. What would they find if they got this in the mail?
That particular pamphlet explains everything that the Can Do program will do for somebody who calls. They have to call 1-800-367-3101, ask for information regarding the Hugo Center, and hopefully they will find all the information that they need in that pamphlet.
Okay.
So everything that they could possibly, it actually explains everything that's being done in the 5-day program, and it also gives an update on programs that are available.
Okay, now is it one number for the Can Do, or is it two?
It's one number.
Okay, and that
the
is?
Same number, 1-800-367-3101.
Okay, and do the Hugo Center have a website?
Yes, it does. It's www.huga.org.
Okay, all right. Well, you ladies gave a wealth of information. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of our viewers may not have a lot of time to read information, but you provided enough information for them that any of these brochures that they would call and request, they would be more informed and delighted to receive, okay? So this is almost like the shortcut to knowledge here, and we really do appreciate, you giving us this information, and our viewers really do want to be a part of this. So the website again?
nationalmssociety.org.
Okay, and Hugo?
Huga.org.
Okay. Well, there's no reason for people not to be able to email you, call, or any of those things, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Well, is there anything I need to know, any upcoming events we need to talk about before we close?
We have an event coming up on September 29th called Dinner with Da Vinci. I think I mentioned that a minute ago. But it is a premier black tie event, gala awards, national awards program that really basically celebrates companies and individuals for their innovative products to help people with disabilities.
Okay, well, keep us informed, and we'll see if we can stop by there.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close with some footage from the Hugo Center, but I want to thank Rose and Lorraine for coming out to give us the information about the MS Society and the Hugo Center. So if you have questions, I know you got the website, and I know you got the numbers, and if not, just call us here at the Just Ask Talk Show. Our number is 248-988-0250, 248-988-0250, and our website is justasktalkshow.org. I'm your host, Marsha Florence, for Just Ask. What do I always say? If you know someone with a disability, or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. Thank you.
Center is about helping people living with multiple sclerosis. People learn about how to exercise, people learn about nutrition, but the aspect is people have access to a team of healthcare professionals in which they can get their specific questions answered.
When I went to the Can Do program, I was in a wheelchair. By the time I left, it was the most emotional time of my life because I had learned that I didn't have to let MS take control of my life. I had control of it still.
With the individualized program that I'm going to be able to take back, I can utilize that and it's going to work for me.
To support its work, the Hugo Center raises funds directly from individuals, corporations, and foundations, and through planned giving and special events, such as the Vertical Express for MS, the New York Autumn Benefit, and an annual golf tournament. Through growing awareness of its work and the generosity of many, the Hugo Center transforms lives every day.
The center is my calling, and it really is my passion. The commitment and the passion of the medical team is moving. Generally, you'd think, well, I exercise for my health. You exercise to put a smile on your face, to give you a sense of direction, control over your life. The residual opportunity is to reclaim your health, but it's only an opportunity. You've got to want your health more than anyone wants it themselves. That's up to you.